Scaling. You might have heard this term, and if you haven't already heard the term, you will later on, some point in your career. Scaling is defined as the process of taking agile flavors that work at a team level and scaling it up, as it were, across multiple teams. However, there's a misnomer that you need to scale agile for it to be used across multiple teams. That is not the business case for scaling. The business case for scaling is very similar to what we see on the screen here. You have one product, but at the same time, you have more than two teams. This is a scaling situation right here. You could very well have greater than one product, and you could have 1 to 2 teams. It will be painful, but it's not a scaling situation. And you could have greater than 2 teams and greater than one product. And that's program and portfolio management. Now, to be perfectly honest, this has been done for a long time across companies, very successful companies. So let's make it clear that program and portfolio management are not scaling situations. Neither is 1 or 2 teams working on greater than one product. That is not a scaling situation. When you have one product, but greater than 2 teams, this right here is the business case for scaling. And to better understand the business case for scaling, let's examine Agile as it exists in a document that you probably know all too well from the PMI and the Agile Alliance. This starts off with the very lowest of depth. In other words, the least depth in terms of a scale. It starts off with an understanding of Kanban, not a lot of depth, but crazily powerful. However, if you take a look at the legend, you see this is just at the team level. We also have FDD, getting a little bit more in economies of depth, and then Scrum that a whole lot of companies use. In fact, of those companies that use Agile, over 70% of them use Scrum. It's widely popular, or some elements of Scrum. XP and DSDM, Agile Up, those are all team methods. Now, no matter how successful you are at the team level, in most companies, there's a hunger to take it up a notch, where there are multiple teams working on a single product. And that's where we begin the business case for scaling. The Scrum of Scrums, in terms of depth, does not have that much depth. The lowest number, you would say, followed by Lean, and then less. Large-scale Scrum, Crystal Methods has been around. It has a very robust tailoring breakdown for how to scale it. We also have Discipline Agile from the PMI. There's also the Scaled Agile Framework on this image. Now, lots of folks read the Agile Guide, but don't have enough insights into the fact that there are other scaling techniques. So I have included in here Nexus from Ken Schwaber, one of the co-creators of Scrum. I have also created in here for controversy the so-called Spotify model. Now, if these seem strange to you, and you want to understand more about them, you are invited to the Common Sense Scaling webinar. This is happening on the 16th of July. Roy Schilling is the instructor. You'll get 2 PDUs from this attendance. I highly advise every PMP, project manager, agilist, whatever certifications you have, you owe it to yourself to know more about scaling, because scaling is going to hit your desk at some point or another. The question is going to be, which of these golden buttons, I say that in jest, are we going to implement? You see, implementing a framework or a model or an idea should not be prescriptive because all companies are different. The topic of scaling needs to be handled on a case-by-case basis. Many projects incur dependencies when they are not managed within a given program. For this reason, it is necessary to have an understanding of how Agile works in a program context and in a portfolio context. And that is exactly what we'll be getting into. How do you use Agile in any of the situations I just showed you? Projects is understandable, but program and portfolio management, what is our focus? Do we focus on the work? Do we focus on the team? What makes a scaling situation? In this conference, we're going to be talking about descaling, Scrum of Scrums, and all those other frameworks I showed you. We'll be talking about Discipline Agile, SAFe, the Nexus approach from Ken Schwaber, and many more. And by the time we're done, you will understand what exactly scaling is and whether your company has a unique scaling situation and what to do about it. For anyone who has studied a little bit of Agile, this is something that will boost your understanding further of how this is used enterprise-wide, following good practices, best practices. Okay, so I would advise you sign up. The website is agileaficionado.com. You go there, you'll be sent a link. I will look forward to seeing you at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. Again, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much and look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.